Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Lovin Riyadh show. I'm your host Rama. Today is the 26th of May and we have a couple of exciting Hajj related topics for you guys to discuss. The first being that Saudi calls on the community to cite the Dhul Hijjah Crescent on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, and an Indonesian sanitation worker finally fulfills their dream of Hajj. So let's get started on the first topic. Saudi's Supreme Court has issued a call for all Muslims across the kingdom to try and sight the crescent moon of Dhul Hijjah on the evening of Tuesday, May 27th, which is tomorrow evening. So Tuesday marks the 29th in the Islamic lunar calendar. And if the crescent is sighted, it will signal the beginning of Dhul Hijjah, which will begin in that case on Wednesday, May 28th. This would set the stage for the first day of Eid al-Adha to fall on Friday, June 6th. And this is obviously one of the holiest days in the Islamic calendar, celebrated at the culmination of the annual Hajj pilgrimage. However, if the moon is not sighted tomorrow evening, the month of Dhul Hijjah will begin a day later on Thursday, meaning Eid al-Adha will be observed on Saturday, June 7th. So the Supreme Court encouraged anyone who sees the crescent, whether with their naked eye or using binoculars, to report the sighting to the nearest court or to reach out to local authorities who can facilitate the process. So the sighting has to be officially recorded for it to be accepted, and this can be recorded by anyone. So if anybody spots it tomorrow evening, make sure to report it. So this annual call reflects the kingdom's continued reliance on moon sightings to determine the timing of major Islamic events. And this emphasizes both tradition and getting the community involved in such a important time in the Islamic year. So make sure you guys have your binoculars out or just take a look at the moon tomorrow evening and see if you can spot the moon, and make sure to report it as well. So for our next topic, a really wholesome story of an Indonesian sanitation worker who finally gets to fulfill their dream of Hajj. So after nearly 4 decades of saving every spare coin, an elderly Indonesian sanitation worker and his wife are finally living out their dream of performing Hajj. So the name of this man is Hajj Lejaman, I hope I'm saying his name right, who is a man with unwavering faith and determination. Back in 1986, he and his wife began putting aside just 1,000 rupiah a day, which is less than 1 Saudi riyal, from their modest income, all for one sacred goal of visiting the Holy Kaaba in Mecca. And they actually reported to the Saudi press agency how the happiness is overwhelming, as one could imagine. And they said they never imagined they would finally get to see the Kaaba with their own eyes. And they're thanking everybody who supported them, especially behind the Mecca Route initiative, who made the journey easier. The couple embarked on their emotional journey from the Mecca Route initiative terminal in Solo, Indonesia, where their travel procedures were completed quickly, efficiently, and with heartfelt care from the organization. It was smooth sailing from there, thanks to the Saudi team working behind the scenes to make every pilgrim's experience seamless. So despite tough times they faced and physically demanding work, the couple's spirits never wavered. And obviously with patience, prayer, and persistence, the money that they were able to save grew. And now they're part of millions heading to the heart of Islam this Hajj season. And of course, the couple is extremely grateful and praised the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for their exceptional hospitality and organization, especially for pilgrims from around the world, much like themselves. So that's such a wholesome story, and such a lovely thing to see that people from humble backgrounds from all over the world are getting to experience Hajj for the first time, which is like this couple. Some of them have dreamed of this from very, very early on and saved up for so long. due to initiatives like the Mecca Route Initiative, which is helping pilgrims all over the world for them to be able to fill their stream. So that's great to hear, and we hope they have a very, very fulfilling Hajj season. So thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Lovin Riyadh show. Stay tuned for more coming this week, and make sure to follow us on all of our streaming platforms, as well as YouTube, and we will see you next time.